Good morning! Welcome back to Free Speak, where we free write with our mouths. Hey everyone, I'm Michael. Welcome back to Free Speak. Yeah, it's another day. Another day has begun, and it's gonna be great because there is sun. And with sun, you know that there's fun, and with fun, you eat a hot dog bun. And I love to quote the great Seuss. I wish I had a masseuse because my shoulders are tight, and the sun gives you light. It gives you sunlight. And it's great because now I can afford a brown cow, and brown cows say moo. Can you say moo too? The end. There we go. Hey, it's nice to be back. It's nice to be back on the channel. It's good to be here. Yeah, I wanted to say something that I thought. What was I thinking? Oh, I started making 8-bit art. Are you guys into that? Are you guys into 8-bit art? Is that something? Is that an old trend? Is that a new trend? I don't know. Anyways, I used to love making 8-bit art a lot. There's this Japanese puzzle games. They're called nonograms, and basically it's a game of rows and columns, and you have to match up the correct display. So, like this column has 3 reds, a space, and then 4 reds, and then there's a corresponding rows, and they said, well, this row has 3 reds. This one has 1 red, and then you make a picture by identifying. It was awesome. I love them. I love these puzzles. These are great. I want to get back into them and do like one a day and just have something print off and just do one puzzle a day. They're fantastic. They come in black and white. They come in color. Color ones are usually harder because, well, with black and white, the strategy is there's only 2 colors, black and white. You plan out the black squares, and the white squares are the empty space. So when it says 3 and 4, you know that there has to be 1 in between. But with colors, you can do like 2, 3, 4. You can put 2 green next to 3 yellow, and there doesn't have to be a space in between them because they're colors. So they work right next to each other. So it's a little different strategy. You just have to remember that colors have slightly different rules. So that's that. Love them, love doing that. So that was my first real exposure to 8-bit art, kind of. So that was really the beginning of it. Like, oh wow, making puzzles, and you have all this great fan art that's drawn. There's trees, there's great traditional Japanese paintings, there's celebrities that have been pixelized. So I started working on that. But then my mother also taught me cross-stitching, which is a form of embroidery, almost. Kind of I don't know all the technical terms. I know cross-stitching. But what you do, you have the design, the pattern, the layout, and it has a design on it. So it has the entire picture already planned out, and it has all of these, what it should look like, and then it gives you all the colors of the threads that you should use and how you should, make the picture. And what you literally do is you create a pixel. You go row by row, and you do line by line with the right colors, and you make this picture. Line by line, square by square, cross stitch by cross stitch, and it forms a picture. So I loved doing that, and I actually created a couple of my own designs for like just things I wanted to hang up around my house, which I would love to do still. It's a very time-consuming process because when you cross-stitch, you're cross-stitching it through, but then you run out of thread. And that's the worst part, is when you run out of thread, because certain thread counts, like you can't just put in the thing and just weave away. You have to, the thread that it comes with comes in 6 fibers, and typically you want to split those fibers up into either 3 or 2, because it becomes too heavy if you do all 6. It doesn't look good at all. But 3 or 2 works. But then to do that, you have to cut a certain amount of it out, and then use only 3. And then when that runs out, use the 2 and do that. And then the other part that was annoying when you cross stitch is What is it? It's super annoying, and I always hated it. Oh, if you do too long, you end up like pulling way out and stitching and pulling way out and pulling, and then depending on how hard you pull, if you pull too hard, you shorten the squares a little bit, like you shorten the fabric of the squares, and it looks bad. It doesn't look even. So you're trying to stitch with a fairly even pace. So you have to have an equal. You have to have an equal strength, and you have to be able to pull it the certain way. I loved it. It was great mindless work. I would do it all the time while watching TV. Me and my mother would cross stitch and watch Friends. It was fantastic. It was very good. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that. So that was my first exposure to 8-bit art. So if you have, here I'm gonna reach out to the the limited community, which I have. If you know any good 8-bit programs, please send them my way. I'm in need. I have found one online that kind of works, that I've been using right now. It's called Create 8-bit Art, which is fine. It's a decent website. The only problem is I can't save it. I tried using Paint, but Paint is not sensitive enough. Like, you can do, it doesn't lock. I really appreciate when you can lock on a square, so you go here and then you can move and do the square by itself, which is nice, but again, it's just frustrating. It's frustrating, but that's okay, because we'll get through. Yeah, so it's been good. I'm part of another YouTube channel, Baps Play, Back Alley Puppeteers Play. It's a gaming channel. It's a place where we play video games and just kind of discuss as we play them. So it's a fairly fun channel. Definitely check them out if you want to. It's a college student channel, so just be forewarned. This material here is very family friendly. That material, not so much, but it's still nice. Yeah, just don't. That's just all I'm gonna say about that. Yeah, so I've been trying to create some 8-bit art for that, and it's just not working right now. And it's all right. I mean, it's just something I need to work on, because I want to start animating with 8-bit. So creating, line pixel by pixel, creating animations, which would be a lot of fun. So I think I want to do that at some point. So, anyways, it's good. It's good to have a hobby. Yeah, I always feel like I have to tie in a lesson. Like, oh, what I just said is important because of yada yada. I learned a lot from cross-stitching. I learned a lot from the patience and the actual tactile skill of being able to stitch. Not a lot of people know how to stitch. Just because I had this, I was able to learn to sew on a button. So now I can sew buttons on if they pop off. I mean, that seems like such a wild skill, but nonetheless, there are people who don't know how to sew on buttons, and that's sad. But I used to do that, and I appreciate what I learned and how I learned it. It's good. It's good. It helps you, what you may not know, but it may come back to help you in the future. And that's what I actually really believe that. I really believe that we learn all these things, like all the things that you've done in life should come back and help you eventually. The knowledge of the things you've done should come back and help you. So there are things in my life that I did that I'm not necessarily doing right now, but have still helped me. Like, I did lifeguard courses over the summer. I learned how to swim, and then I learned how to be a lifeguard. Almost every single summer as growing up. Granted, I'm not a lifeguard right now, and I'm not a professional swimmer, but I know how to swim. That's important, because that's very useful for emergency situations, and just in general, it's good to know how to swim. But then with the lifeguard training, it's important because what is it? It's very good to have, because now I understand head, neck, or back injuries. I understand how to do CPR. at least the general concept. I'm not certified, but at least I know how to do that. I know how to save people's lives. I know how to save people's lives. I am Superman. I'm actually Batman. I'm Batman. No, but I mean it was very helpful. It was very helpful for me to know how, and it comes back. It comes back, you know. If I ever need to jump in the water and save someone and there's no lifeguard, I know how to do that. I know what the correct hold is. I know how to carry that. I have fairly decent memory retention. Same thing with cross-stitching, you know. I never thought it would be useful until now I'm in a channel where we have channel art and we have all that, but I kind of want to animate it. And now that we have this 8-bit style with this gaming, it's like, oh, well, that's kind of cool. Well, now we can kind of go back to the roots of gaming and kind of start from there and work forward. And so now we have this opportunity, and thanks to my cross-stitching and my nonogram days, I now have that. So always look out for those things that could benefit you in the future. And I highly suggest that whatever you do, think of it as being able to benefit you in the future. So don't ever just do anything like, won't be. I hated the kids in school. I didn't hate them. I just hated when people said this of like, when are we ever gonna use this in real life? I'm like, well, with that attitude, you won't use it in real life, because it's kind of up to you whether you use it in real life or not. Again, if you have certain talents or trades or skills that you learned, you use that when you want to, but it's not necessarily something you have to use. It's just nice to use it and nice to have it. So that's my encouragement. Learn something and use it. Don't not use it, but use it. I don't know. Yep. So there we go. That was today's little ditty. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, like, subscribe, favorite, comment. Sweet. I have a Twitter. Yeah, it's FreeSpeakKC. So if you want to check that out, that'd be cool too. But anyways, yeah. Keep sending in those likes, keep sending those shares. You guys are great. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for the support. And as a friendly reminder, send me some comments about topics and or ideas for the 100 subscriber video, and I will get that underway. Have a great day, guys. You guys are the best.